And we are live. Welcome to Fabian Live. This is my live stream. Welcome. Bang on time. Love it when I'm on time. If you've never seen any of my videos, if you're just joining, then I welcome you to the live stream. Or if you're watching on the replay, I also welcome you. Just drop a message in the chat just to let me know where you're joining from in the world. Just let me know, just because that's really interesting for me to see where everyone is joining from. If you don't know me, my name is Fabian Holland. I'm a guitarist, singer and songwriter based in the UK, but I live in Berlin in Germany. And on my channel, I talk all about being a singer-songwriter, an acoustic guitarist, all things related to that. So songwriting, performing, recording, playing guitar, all things related to that. So in today's live stream, we're talking about essential mindset shift for guitarists going from strumming to fingerpicking. And this, I feel, something that I haven't touched on too much. And it's just one of these things that I didn't really think about until recently. It's one of these things that you're kind of not really conscious of, but you just start doing. And I think it's something that only people that have gone through playing strumming and then go into playing fingerpicking, and this is what I'm going to be basically talking about today. As with all of these live streams, I pick a topic, but we don't have to be just talking about this topic. We can, feel free to ask questions, leave comments. I really encourage that. I'm not gonna see them. I'm not gonna open them for a little bit. I'm just kind of gonna talk for a little bit and introduce what we're talking about. Maybe play a song, and then I'm gonna open the chat and then answer some questions and talk to everyone and everything like that. Yeah. So let's get into it. So in this live stream, I'm going to talk about what that mindset is, how it can make playing easier, and how it can make you a better player. So what is this mindset? Come on, Fabian. Reveal it. It's nothing too dramatic. It's nothing too kind of light bulb moment or anything. I don't know if that's an expression, but I'm just going to say it anyway. When you're strumming, or you're thinking about the chords, right? And you're thinking about what each string is doing when you're strumming, and you have to be kind of conscious of that, of what your strings are doing. Whether you're fretting that string or whether you're muting that string, you still need to be conscious of it. Whether you're hitting that string or not, and it's something that I feel I took with me when I started playing fingerpicking more, especially on the left hand. So I would be playing chords, full chords, but only picking like a few of them. Or maybe I was picking all the strings, but I didn't have to be doing that, So the mindset is getting out of that mindset that you have to be fretting all the strings, that you have to be playing all of these notes. And that kind of goes back to a little bit on when I talked about theory and this sort of thing. It's good to know at least a little bit of what the notes are in the chords that you're playing. Because if you know what the notes are, then you know what notes you need and what notes you don't need, like, I'll just do a quick example of this. Let's take a C chord, right? I've got the capo on the 5th fret, but it would be a C chord. If you kind of look at each one of these notes, You know, you don't have to be playing all of these notes. We've got C, E, G, C, and another E, you know. Most of these notes we do need, you know, root, third, and fifth, right? But we don't need the extra C and E in there, you know. And actually we can start thinking about it. Do we actually need... Sometimes when I'm picking, I actually like to take away some of these notes. And, you know, do I actually need all three of these notes? And I do if I want to actually play a proper C chord, an actual triad. If I want to play this chord, then yeah, I do need these notes. But a lot of the time, I pretend to play these chords. You know, I'm not actually playing a third. You know, it might just be the root and the fifth. You know, or it might be another note, in fact, it might be just the root note that I'm playing sometimes, you know. So the mindset is getting away from these sort of chord shapes that we all kind of know from strumming, and really thinking about what the notes are that you actually need when you're picking, you know. So that's basically the mindset, and we can kind of dive into this. As I say, this is nothing that's... I'm not saying anything that's new here, you know. I think probably for a lot of people this is very obvious, but this is mainly for people that are just maybe starting to play fingerpicking, or maybe you haven't been fingerpicking for that long, and maybe you're not thinking about this too much, you know. I just see it a lot when people are playing chords, they're playing full chords, and then they're putting a fingerpicking pattern on the right hand, right? That's very, very common. You see that a lot, whatever the chords are, right? And it's a very easy thing to do, because you know the chord shapes on the left hand. You just have to keep those chord shapes, right? And then you can just learn this one kind of finger picking pattern, whatever it is, whether it's like alternate thumb picking or whether it's something like that, you know, whatever it is, you can just kind of learn that pattern and then use the chords that you already know. And that's great, but I think it's important as well to think about, you don't have to always be doing that, you know. You can think about, okay, do I need to be playing all these notes? Let's look into it. It also simplifies things a hell of a lot, and it frees up fingers. And we're going to kind of go into that a little bit. So I'm gonna basically play a song. As I say, keep filling up the chat. Let me know where you're joining us from and all that. Ask any questions. Literally, doesn't have to do with what I'm talking about. I just, you know, for these live streams, I just like to pick a topic and talk, and then see who joins and see what comments I get. You know, and if any of you have any other ideas about any other live streams, then please let me know, because I'm you know, I try to do these every Saturday, every week, so I need constant new ideas coming in. So please let me know. I'm going to do a song. I'm going to probably talk about the song after, and I'm not going to do the full song because it's quite long. But it's in the key. The fingering is in G, but I've got the capo on the 5th fret. By the way, this guitar, I'm using this guitar because my other usual one, my Loudon, is in Dadgad. And, you know, I just hate having to tune from standard into another tuning, and it's just easier if I use another guitar. You know, I can just kind of grab it if I wanna. I'm gonna be probably playing another song in Dadgad. So for this one, I wanted to go in standard tuning so I can kind of explain what I want to talk about a bit easier, and for people that probably don't use Dadgad that much or alternate tuning. So this is in standard tuning. This is a guitar from South America. It's from where's it from? A friend gave it to me from Peru, I think. Can't remember now. But it's like, it's a really old, beaten up guitar. It doesn't stay in tune very well. But I quite like it. I've got something about these guitars, these sort of nylon string guitars, specifically old ones, old cheap banged up ones, that I just kind of really like, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna play it on this. So we'll see how this goes. All right, this song is called Holiday. I'll just introduce this song very quick. Sorry, I know I ramble a lot on these live streams, so I do apologize. This is called Holiday. This is on my last album, and it's actually it's in a major key, and it's in a oh, sorry, I just got distracted. It's sort of the subject. If you don't know the story, it sounds like it's a really innocent subject going on holiday, but it's actually the story is this father is telling his kids that they're going on holiday, but really they have to flee because of war, basically, in their country. They have to flee, but he's kind of trying to protect them and make them not make them scared about what they're doing, and saying, it's kind of our little holiday, you know, let's kind of try and make fun. And that's not to say that people that have to flee their country because of war or anything like that is fun. Not trying to make light of that. It's just a story of a father trying to kind of protect his children from this crazy situation. Basically, that's the story. So I will put a little bit of reverb on this microphone. I'm just going through this microphone, nothing else. I've just got this one large diaphragm condenser, no pickup or anything, just very straight to it. Put a little bit of reverb on. Here we go. Whoa. All right, that should do. Here we go. Tomorrow's the day when we go away. Adventures I've only begun. And we're going here too, just like me and you. We're all traveling until the end. I got to start again on that one. Sorry, completely messed up the lyrics. See, this is something that happens sometimes if you don't practice your own songs. Hold on, take two. Here we go. right, so make sure you pack light. We're off on a hike, having fun. So pack your bags, kids. Oh, pack your bags, kids. We're going on holiday. We're off soon enough. And bring your nice shoes. Oh, bring your smile too. 'Cause who really knows where we'll end up? Kids, don't get stuck in the back of this old truck. Don't worry, the driver's a friend. There's people here too, and just like me and you, they're all traveling until the end. So pack your bags, kids. Oh, pack your bags, kids. We're going on holiday. We're off soon enough. And bring your nice shoes. Oh, bring your smile too. 'Cause who really knows where we'll end up? So pack your bags, kids. Pack your bags, kids. We're going on holiday. We're off soon enough. And bring your nice shoes. Oh, bring your smile too. 'Cause who really knows where we'll end up? That was Holiday. Got there in the end. So this is also this guitar. I haven't played this in so long. It kind of throws me when when I'm not used to a guitar, you know. And the intonation of this is just, it's a little bit messed up, but I just enjoy playing it a lot. And it's got this like baseball bat neck. It's like this really chunky neck, but it is fun to play. Let me go to the comments. Let me see what we got going on here. Gonna see if I got this thing running. Gonna see if this is working today. It basically lets me see all the questions. Here we go. Many vibes with the questions. All right, here we go. Is the mind shift to pretend you're a lead guitarist instead of rhythm? Yeah, that could be the one. That could be the question. Do you not strum so much? I don't really strum that much, to be fair. I used to. I used to strum a lot. I used to play. I used to play a lot more electric guitar, actually. You got tips for that trick? Oh, that's something else that's going on in the comment, I think. Yeah. So let me see. All right. So let me see any other questions or comments. What's going on there? But yeah, I don't really strum too much, to be fair. I find that it's a whole different texture when you start to fingerpick, and I think this with the sort of music that I want to create, it doesn't really. I've never found that strumming kind of works, for me at least. If I want to create kind of that kind of sound, then I would strum. Then I absolutely would. And I'm not saying that fingerpicking is better than strumming. It's just a completely different sound, And there's lots of fingerpickers that also strum as well. And to be fair, when I play live and I do have these certain moments where I do like to be loud, I am kind of strumming, It's hard to sort of do that now, to kind of show you how I would do that, because it's always kind of in the moment, usually when I'm improvising and I'm just kind of really immersed in the music and what I'm doing, I'll just kind of go for it and just kind of go a bit crazy and start strumming. And it's a good effect, because I do a whole concert of no strumming, just finger picking, and then I all suddenly start strumming, and it's like loud and intense. It can be quite a good effect, because people don't expect it. Do I practice with a metronome? You know what? I don't. I don't practice with a metronome. I probably should. And I definitely would recommend people do that. So I should probably do it myself, right? If I recommend people do that. But I like to fluctuate, especially if you can hear it on the song that I just did, the tempo is just kind of all over the place, and that's on purpose, because I like to have these moments when I feel that I want to kind of hold for a little bit longer on a note, or in a moment, and when it's kind of on this particular tension. It's all about tension and release, and I feel I kind of want to hold that tension for a little bit longer, then I will, But if I was playing maybe with a whole band, they would, or a drummer, and I have played with a drummer in the past, then they would have to kind of know that I'm holding that back, or they would have to react to that. And that can also be really cool. That can also be really great, that the other musicians are kind of reacting to your kind of the way that you're playing, and your rhythm and your tension and release, and how you're phrasing and how you do things, and then they react to it, and it can be kind of go back and forth, and that can be also really great and magical, and that's also really cool. But so I've forgotten the question now. I've gone completely off the topic. Metronome, yeah. So I don't my songs aren't, I don't like my songs to be too rigid, but I think still at the same time it's good to be able to keep time, and it's good to be able to practice to be able to keep time, you know. Not that your songs should always be on tempo. And I never record to a clack trick. Never record to a clack trick. I also never record to a click track. So yeah, so that's that one there. Hope that makes sense. That was that was a lot of rambling on that one. Show us the cool loud strumming. It's, you know, I especially can't do it on this one. Maybe I can do it on the next song with the steel string. But it's, you know, I don't even, sometimes when I'm in that moment of, especially when I'm improvising and especially when I'm playing live, you know, it's just, it's almost like the music kind of controls me, you know. It sounds like it is literally like being what's the word, being obsessed, being possessed, that's it. It's a little bit like that, you know, that you're completely immersed with what you're doing, and especially when you're performing in front of a crowd, it's, you know, it's a magical moment. So I don't think I could sort of replay what I'm doing. I could try, you know, I'll try it on the next song, maybe. I don't know if it will work. But it's things like this where I don't pre-plan it, you know, with the strumming. I don't really think about it. If it happens in the song at that moment, then that's what needs to happen, you know. But it's never something that I consciously think about beforehand. Does that make sense? But I will try and show you something. I don't know if it's that cool, to be honest. It's probably doesn't sound that great. Do I strum with thumb, finger, or several? That's a good question. I think in these certain moments, I'd probably just do the kind of finger picking strumming, like this sort of almost flamenco type, you know. You know, that always sounds really cool on a nylon string. This basically, you're kind of doing this, you know. This sort of stuff. I don't know if I actually do that or not. Because, as I say, it's in the moment kind of thing, you know. So I just kind of like let my fingers kind of do whatever, you know. It's more like this. It's not something that is like something that is necessarily very rhythmical or in time, you know. It's just like to kind of build up this massive tension that I've been building up, you know, musically speaking, you know. So, but I can strum when I need to. You know, strumming is fun for sure, you know, and I do that a lot because I teach lots of kids here in Berlin, you know, and a lot of them want to do pop songs and stuff. So, you know, I teach them. I do strumming, and we do a lot of like songwriting. This is what I really enjoy with the kids that I teach, songwriting. You know, and a lot of that is strumming. But I also teach finger picking, and we do classical, all kinds of stuff. You know, so yeah, I'd say it's kind of depends on what I'm doing. You know, in terms of the thumb and finger. But if it's my stuff, I would just kind of go crazy and use my fingers and thumb and kind of everything. But if I'm doing, you know, like stuff with my students, for example, if I wanted to reenact the pick, you know, then I would literally just put my fingers together because I have nails, you know, this kind of thing, you know. What am I doing at the moment? I'll play a song that probably going to get demonetized for this, or maybe not. I don't know. don't really care. I don't really bother monetizing my live streams anyway. What is it? Back in Black. You know, this sounds really, doesn't really do it on nylon string, but you know, I would just kind of like make like a pick with my thumb and my finger kind of thing. Do I only have 2 guitars? No, I don't, but I actually don't at the moment. I don't have that many steel strings, which is something I'm looking to change. So I'm looking at getting more steel strings. I do have another steel string Loudon, but it's damaged at the moment. It's in need of repair, and I just kind of need to get someone to fix it. Yeah, I did have another Loudon. I actually had a F model Loudon, what was it? F25, I think it was, which was slightly smaller body Loudon, but I just couldn't get on with it for some reason. I just didn't like it. It was a bit too small for me. I think I'm set on these O model Loudons, you know. So I actually sold it in the end. But I think I'll try and get my other Loudon, which was actually slightly cheaper Loudon that was made in Japan. There were like about 5,000 guitars were made in Japan, roughly, from 1980 to 1985, or maybe 1985 to 1980 to 1985, I think. And mine's one of them. So I just need to get it fixed, basically. But yeah, so this is my only working Loudon at the moment. But I'm looking for some maybe sort of cheaper range steel string. I think also it would be good for demoing certain things, to have like a guitar that's not as nice and expensive, you know, to something that maybe people could relate to a little bit more, to see how things sound, to see how microphones sound on a cheaper guitar, you know. So that's, yeah. If you have any suggestions, a friend of mine uses Seagull guitars. Anybody heard of Seagull guitars? They're made in Canada. Although their higher range ones, you know, are not much cheaper than Loudon. So, but they're really nice. But yeah, I'm kind of looking around. If anyone knows of any kind of nice, cheaper guitars. I mean, I guess I should know, really, shouldn't I? You know, having a channel all about acoustic guitars. But yeah, hope that answers some questions. We'll go back now. One second. So yeah, sort of talking about going back to this mindset shift. I wanted to talk a little bit about this song that I did just a second ago with the capo on the 5th fret. Just put it back there. So if I kind of broke this, if I was to kind of play this, strum this song, you know, tomorrow's a day, tomorrow, it's really hard for me to strum it, the day when we go away, adventures have only begun. You know, it would kind of be like G, that would be like an F sharp over D, maybe, a B, some kind of B, C, G, D, you know, this kind of thing. And, you know, all of my fingers, when I'm playing this, all of my fingers are very busy on the left hand, you know, if you can see that. And which is fine. But I think if you were to kind of, if I was literally to play all of these notes, like take a G chord, for example, and do that, I see a lot of people doing that. And there's, maybe that's what they want, maybe that's what they're going for, but especially this G chord, you know, it's really, there's just 3 notes in G. It's G, B, and D, you know, that's it. G, B, D. And then, okay, what are the other notes? If you look at it, there's another G, it's a D, and there's another G again. It depends on how you play it. Some people play it like that with a open B there, but basically you're just repeating notes, you know, and that's great. And that's why a lot of these chords, these chords in the first position here, that's why a lot of them sound very full and grounded and rooted, because a lot of them are like repeating the fifths and the roots, you know, it's a lot of fifths and roots. And that's great if you're strumming, you know. But maybe I think a lot of people are not thinking about that, oh, I don't need to be playing all these notes on the left hand. So sometimes, you know, especially, I like to just keep it really simple. And I think this has definitely influences my playing. And it's this mindset shift of like, okay, I don't need to be playing these notes. And in fact, a lot of times with the G, I'm just using one finger, you know. So it makes playing a lot simpler for the left hand. So I can, if I want to, I can just have the G, especially G, because there's a lot of open strings that kind of work with that, you know. I can use these D and B open strings, you know, D, G, and B open strings. So it's great. But you don't even have to do that. I find a lot of the time I just do this, and this is literally just the root, you know, kind of just playing the root note, and then obviously another G, the open string G there. And I'd do this if I wanted to kind of improvise and I wanted to add a lot of notes. So I want my fingers to be, a lot of my fingers to become available, you know? So I just kind of keep things as literally as basic and as simple as I can. And then I try and improvise using like the first and second strings. Something like this, you know, and obviously that's not going to work with every song, but that's kind of an extreme version. But, you know, what I did with this song wasn't that much different, you know. I was literally just using the G there on the 6th string, and then using this one a lot. So I'm using like an alternate thumb picking a little bit, and using that open D there, that string, you know, so it's... I just move the bass line. In this song, the bass line does move quite a bit, so that's why, another reason why to keep it very simple. So I go, you know, so it's just it's thinking about chords in a different way. And how and what notes do you actually need in these chords, and kind of stripping things back. So that makes playing easier, and it means that you're using less fingers on your left hand, and so you can have more fingers available to add more interesting notes, and especially if you're improvising or anything like that. So hope that makes sense to everyone. Yeah, so less notes, less fingers makes other fingers available. And another thing I want to talk about is how it can make you a better player. It helps you understand the notes that are in the chords, you know. So if you know the notes in the chord, then you can start kind of experimenting around with chords and not necessarily just use the same shapes that you know. You can sort of pick notes out, and like I was talking about a few other live streams ago, of you can kind of do inversions of chords, you know. So let's say, you know, the G chord, G, B, D, right? Let's flip things up in inversions, and let's kind of put other notes in the bass. So let's put a B in the bass, let's put a D here, the third fret on the B string, and then we use that open G string there. You know, technically that's also a G chord, just an inversion, you know, third in the bass. And we can put the fifth in the bass as well. So we put try and put a D in the bass here, maybe this D, open D, it's still quite high. I like to spread it out a bit if I can, but we'll go with this. And then maybe a B here. And then I could actually just use this. So technically these three strings, you know, is a G chord. You know, just as one example there, but you get the picture, you know. So this is kind of thinking a little differently, and thinking about what notes do you actually need, and how far can you simplify this? How far can you break these chords down, you know, to the one note root, you know. A lot of the time I'm not even playing two roots, I'm playing just the one root, you know. And in that case you need to be, or I feel like I need to be quite rhythmical with it, you know. I can't be as loose with the rhythm there, you know, because it's just one note. I need to kind of keep that thumb steady on the rhythm. But yeah, so that's the understanding the notes in the chords. You can create your own chords and inversions of chords if you understand the notes, and you can make your own simplified versions of chords, which also makes you more unique. It makes you sound more unique. If you're not using the same kind of shapes and chords that everybody else is using, you know, that's a very unique way of doing things, you know. Yeah. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this live stream. Let's go to the comments now. Let's see what's cracking. Got a few questions. Here we go. Many vibes. Did you ever hybrid pick? No, I haven't. Although I'd love to try, but I'm not used to having an actual plectrum in my hand anymore, you know. I literally haven't used a plectrum for years and years, maybe 10 years, maybe longer. I don't know. As I say, my version of a plectrum is like putting my thumb and finger together like this, you know. And I guess that could also work with hybrid picking. Something like this, maybe. But I've never tried. But maybe that is something I could try technically, you know. I just don't like holding something like a pick, you know. I don't like having something in my hands, you know. Like my right hand to be free. So, but maybe that is something, because hybrid picking is very cool, and there's a lot of people that do it. There's a lot of people that use thumb picks, you know, finger picking still, but using a thumb pick, you know. And I guess technically you could also hybrid pick with that. But no, I've never done hybrid picking. I should try it though. I should try it. The insight on the notes and simplicity is cool. Yeah. Yeah, it is very cool. You know, it's like it's just a different way of thinking, and I think I'd quite like to do an actual video on this, a YouTube video on this. And I just had this idea. Sometimes I just have ideas, and I think I'll just do a live stream about it, and I'll see how it goes. But it's you know, you can go in, you can dive very deep on this, and you know, this still applies as well to different tunings if you're using different tunings. And so I'll do a song now in Dadgad. And I'll try and explain it a little bit in Dadgad, and a little bit what I'm doing as well. With all of this, you know, I'm trying to explain best as I can, and in simplistic terms as I can, what I'm doing, you know. Which also helps me, I find, explaining, doing these live streams, doing these videos, helping people understand what I'm doing, helps me understand what I'm doing, you know? Does that sound really stupid, or does that make sense? I don't know. Probably a little bit of both, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Yeah, so in Dadgad now, we're on a steel string guitar. And we're capoed at the 4th fret. And I'm going to be doing a very similar thing. I'm playing the fingering I'm playing is basically kind of A minor fingering. The good thing with Dadgad is you still have these 3 strings that are in the same as standard tuning. So you can still use very similar shapes like A and C and so forth. So it's a very similar thing that I'll be doing. I'll be kind of playing these chords, just a very simple version of these chords. But I see it as more as like a bass line that I'm playing, and then I'm basically improvising or playing melodies over the top. So here we go. This is actually a traditional song from England, traditional mining song called Banks of the Dee. But I do it in my own way and my own style. Here we go. I'll play it and then I'll talk a little bit about it. I'll put some reverb on this. Here we go. Saturday night by the banks of the Dee. Now met an old man under stress I could see, and I sat down beside him, and to me he did say, oh, I can't get employment for me hair, it's turned grey. 56. If I could get lots, why'd I raffle me picks? I'd raffle 'em and I'd sell 'em and I'd hoe 'em away. But I can't get employment for me hair, it's turned grey. Last Wednesday night to the reckoning I went. To the culinary office I went straight for her nest. And I got me wage packet and I was walking away when they gave us me notice for me hair, it's turned grey. Oh, I am an old miner, aged 56. If I could get lots, what I'd raffle me picks. I'd raffle 'em and I'd sell 'em and I'd hoe 'em away. But I can't get employment for me hair, it's turned grey. That was Banks of the D. I just realised that I didn't do the big strumming that I said I'd try and do. But again, it's that song didn't really require it, you know. Yeah, I try as I say, like if you miss that, it's a question that I had earlier, I think from Many Vibes, that do I ever strum? And I do strum just in these moments that maybe require it during a live performance. So it's kind of in the moment, spontaneous, and that song definitely didn't require it then. But yeah, so I wanted to just talk a little bit about So this song, and if you've just joined us, I'm talking about this mindset shift of thinking about from when you're strumming, and that you don't necessarily have to be playing all of the notes when you're playing a chord with a finger picking pattern on the right hand. And it's helpful to learn the notes that you need when you're playing a chord, you know, and also the notes that you want to be using, you know. Like in my head, I might tell myself, oh, that's an A minor, you know. But really, am I actually playing an A minor? Not really. You know, here I'm just playing an A, an E, and then another A. So it's a root, fifth root. There's no third in there, so it's not an A minor, you know. So I do this a lot, that I play chords. It might sound minory, but that's just because of the other notes that I'm choosing, you know, to play. These notes, you know, that's what makes it sound like A minor, like I'm playing in the key of A minor. All of these other notes, you know. But if I was just playing this, that could be minor or major, you know. A major, A minor, you know. It's kind of could go either way with this. So with this one, it's kind of going to A minor, and then we've got a G. And I'm doing this all throughout, you know, and it's not necessarily something that I'm conscious of all the time, but I'm just kind of picking these notes and not really thinking about what the chords are necessarily. It's more about, okay, what's the bass notes and what kind of flavors do I want to add to this, you know. I kind of know all the notes that I need, you know, because I know all the notes that are in this key of this A minor key, and I might go out of A minor. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows, you know? I like to experiment around a little bit and see what notes work, and maybe some don't, and that's okay as well, you know? It's what works for you, you know? And like with a lot of these live streams, you know, I'm just kind of saying what's on my mind, and a lot of it makes sense to me in my head, you know, but I don't plan a lot of this. I have kind of notes and stuff, you know, but that's why I don't like to look back on my live streams in case I sound really stupid, and I probably do, you know, but that's okay as well, you know. It's okay to sound stupid and put it on the internet, you know. Plenty of people do it. Oh yeah. So I hope that kind of makes sense or helps people. I'm just gonna look at if there's any more questions, and then I think because I started on time, but you know, I don't want to go on for too long about this. Yeah, if there's any sort of questions, then please feel free to ask away. Last chance. I'll just talk a little bit about if you've made it this far on the live stream and on the replay as well. I know a lot of people can't make the live streams and they watch the replay, so I really do appreciate that. if you made it this far, then, and you're not signed up to my community, it's a plug, but it's for a free plug. It's a really nice little community we got here. There's the link in my description down below. It's basically like a newsletter, but I send out emails and videos related to all the topics that I talk about on my YouTube channel, sort of songwriting, recording, fingerstyle techniques, acoustic guitars and gear and this sort of stuff. So if you enjoy what I talk about, then I think you'll probably enjoy the community. It's full of really, really nice people, and some people are just starting out, and some people have been playing for absolutely years. So I really like the mixture. We have some young people, we have some older people in there, and it's just about kind of talking about what we're doing and helping each other, because we're all songwriters, and we're all solo musicians, and we're all recording in our homes alone and spending a lot of time alone. So it's nice to have a community where we can sort of talk about what we're doing, our experiments, and kind of share ideas and thoughts with each other. A lot of what we do on these live streams. I'll just share my screen here. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yep. And this is basically what it looks like in the community. And we have a Discord and a Facebook group. You don't have to join both. You can join either, whichever one you prefer. And then have a little link there for live stream ideas. And then we have, different sections: my music, songwriting, guitar techniques, gear and live performance, and recording. And then if you go into any one of these, then you'll have like various sort of videos related to different topics, and these videos I send out with my emails, and a lot of them are talking about these live streams and what we're going to talk about in these live streams as well, and just sort of sharing thoughts and ideas, really. So if you feel that might be something that you're interested in, then please click the link in the description down below, and I'll be happy to join you, log you in, or welcome you in, that's the word, to the community. All right, so I think I'm gonna call it an evening there, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining as usual. I'll just I really do appreciate everyone coming to these live streams. Sound natural, not stupid. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. How often do I send out the emails? It depends on which subjects you're interested in. So basically I have like 4 subjects, which are recording, songwriting, guitar techniques, and songwriting, right? Yeah, 4. And then I have some about my music as well. So if you like say you're interested in all 5, then it will be weekly. Then you'll get them all week. But if you say like, oh, I'm just interested in songwriting and recording, then you'll just get like 2 a month. So it's kind of based on what you're interested in, because I realized that there's a lot of people that are just interested in my music as well. Before I was talking about guitar techniques and recording and all this that I'm talking about, I was just doing songs, So I have all these people on my email list that are not interested in guitar techniques or any of this. They're just interested in my music. So now I have the option, when you sign up, that if you're just interested in my music, you know, that's all you click, so that's all you get, you know. So, you know, I don't want to bother people with topics that they might not be, you know, too keen on. Basically, that's the thing. But it's all kind of to do with the live streams as well. So I send out these very short emails, but with a little video, just of me kind of sharing my thoughts about a topic that I want to maybe talk about in the live stream, and then we can kind of talk about it in the Discord or the Facebook group. That's the idea, basically, is that we can kind of continue these topics and talk about other topics, you know, in the community, basically. Yeah. So that's that. So I appreciate everyone coming down to the live stream, and yeah, hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful Saturday wherever you are, and yeah, have a good one. All right, see you soon. Bye.